Let's talk about how to make your conversations more man to woman, as well as how to properly show intent to a girl. I'm gonna be going over the course of the whole interaction, as well as different crucial points that you need to be hitting throughout the course of that conversation. All right, so it's all going down right here. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Kyle Frungen here, CEO and founder of Self Mastery, where it is my mission to help you become the most confident and best version of yourself. In today's video, what we're gonna be going over is intent and man-to-woman conversation. So I drew out this little graph here showing you from the beginning, the open of the conversation, all the way until closing or getting the girl's phone number. And I'm gonna be breaking down this structure to show you what I see a lot of guys doing, and more importantly, what they're doing wrong, so that way you know what to actually do the next time you get into an interaction with a girl. The reality is that if you want to be able to run a conversation and keep the girl fully engaged, fully attracted, and have that magnetic vibe that lures her in all the way from the beginning to the end, there's several different steps that you're gonna have to do. So let's jump into this. The first thing I see going on when men start going out and approaching women, they go out, they start opening, and they may even get comfortable displaying intent off of the open. They open and they're like, hey, what's up? I just saw you, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come over and say hi, right? That's like a typical opener for day game. So they would open, and very early on, they start to display intent. Like pretty much off of the open, they display intent. And this can definitely work. You get into the conversation, the girl stops, she starts listening to you, you start having some back and forth conversation. The problem that I see men making though is that they go from this and then they just transition into vibing, right? They start talking to the girl, oh, so are you from here? They start talking about that, oh, got it, nice, so what do you like to do for fun? And then they talk a little bit about themselves, they have this back and forth conversation, it's going, and let's just say this is the course of 5 to 10 minutes, right? Somewhere towards the end of the conversation, they think it's going well because the girl's still responding, and at which point probably around here somewhere, they'll say, awesome, we should go out sometime, maybe grab a drink. And honestly, as long as you have a decent level of charisma, and you get to this point, it's not uncommon that the girl may actually give you her phone number. The problem is though, is that she's gonna give you the number, and then very shortly after that, the conversation ends, right? The guy gets the number, they talk for another 5-10 seconds, and then he says, okay, Austin, it was a pleasure to meet you, I'll hit you up, take care, and then he leaves. Not realizing that that number is not going to convert into a date probably 90 to 95% of the time, especially not with a high caliber girl. The reason behind that is because there was not enough emotion throughout the interaction. You think just because you open and you displayed intent that the girl understands that you're attracted to her and now you just need to vibe and get to know her, and then you just get the phone number and then you got a date. The sad, unfortunate reality behind that is it was enough to get her attention, and your charisma and conversation was enough to keep her engaged, and that resulted in her actually giving you the phone number. But just because a girl gives you her phone number does not mean she's constantly thinking about you. She genuinely wants to meet up with you, and in a couple days, she's actually gonna clear out her plans to go up and meet out with you. It's just not gonna happen the majority of the time. To help you, to save the day, to make sure the next time you're in this situation, you know what the fuck to do so you can actually convert this interaction into a date or into a lay. Instead of just opening, displaying intent, and then we vibe, go for a number, what you need to do is take it to a higher level of emotional intensity with the girl. You need to spike up that emotion and create a higher level of attraction, and really to make things man to woman. Just because you open and displayed intent does not mean that the interaction is officially man to woman. I wish it was that easy. The sad, unfortunate truth is it's just not, okay? So the longer you go with just having friendly, get to know you conversation, even if you displayed intent in the beginning, slowly, more and more, the girl is starting to just get a friendly vibe from you. And over time, yes, she is good enough friends with you to give you her phone number. However, she is not going to actually go out on a date with you and have sex with you and be with you romantically. So, in order to fix this, there needs to be several instances of emotional spikes, intent, flirting, and teasing. That's how you're going to keep the emotions high to actually keep the girl in the understanding that this is a man-to-woman conversation. It's not just because you opened with intent. The reality is that you open with intent, you talk a little bit with the girl about what she does. The next thing I would recommend doing is actually tease her a little bit. find a way to make it playful and tease and get into a little bit of back and forth with banter. Okay, so at some point you're gonna wanna tease. So once I've opened and displayed intent, we're in this get to know you talk where we're vibing for a little bit. All right, I'll even write we're vibing. At some point though, early on, I would say in the first 2 minutes, you need to find a way to tease the girl somehow. So tease or playfully disagree, or get into some kind of banter back and forth. You need to create emotion other than just get to know you. Personally, I think teasing is an easy way to start to create that vibe, and that's gonna allow you to flirt with her more later on. You don't just open intent and then vibe the whole way to a number close. It's gonna be open, intent, vibe, find a way to tease, playfully disagree, get into some banter with her. And I go over this in several other videos. I even go really in depth with this inside of my MVB program. But once you've done this, now we have some more emotional spikes, okay? Instead of just opening with intent and then flatline vibe to a number close, you want to find a way to open, intent, vibe, emotional spike, maybe even negative emotional spike. That's like a playful disagree or some kind of backhanded compliment towards a girl, or finding a way to challenge her. You need to inject this to keep life in it. This is almost like a heartbeat. And when it's a flat line, well, the interaction's a fucking flat line. So you need to find a way to inject some kind of playful tease, disagree with the girl, challenge the girl, make it funny. From there, we're still in vibing, okay? You always go back to vibing with the girl. It's all about the vibe at the end of the day to carry the whole conversation. But these are essential steps that are going to go into it. So we're back to vibing, we're still getting to know the girl, and then at some point you need to hit her with another spike. This is gonna be a second level of intent, okay? And this time, if the girl has been responding positively, if she accepted this frame, she's vibing with you, there's some back and forth banter, she's engaged in the conversation, at some point you're gonna wanna take it to a higher level of intent. Now this one, I recommend just giving her a straight up genuine compliment. You could say something along the lines of, hey, I thought you were cute. I want to come over and say hi. We start talking, we're in some back and forth conversation. And then at some point I tease her on something. Maybe she's feisty. Maybe, oh, she's Hispanic or she's Colombian, or I don't know. My mama said I shouldn't be talking to Colombian girls, they're trouble. Whatever the conversation is, you find a way to tease her or make it playful. The next time I actually give her intent though, I'm gonna lay it on a little bit thicker. So we've been vibing, we're talking, we're having some back and forth. And then at some point I just look her dead in the eyes. I say, wow, your eyes are so adorable, by the way. I just noticed that. And then I keep talking. So whatever the conversation was, I just sprinkle that in to hit her on an emotional level to spike the conversation back up in an intentful way. And again, if she's been accepting this frame, the vibing's been going well, she's engaging in some back and forth banter, it's okay to do this. This is a necessary step to remind the girl that, yo, this is a man to woman conversation. I'm not here to be your BFF. I'm here because I'm actually attracted to you. So the next one, the second level, I would recommend laying it on a little bit thicker than how you opened. Especially if you guys aren't that comfortable opening that strong and it's not that powerful of a vibe, definitely need to hit her with another level of intent. Another easy line you could say the second time, okay, let's see, cute, loves to work out, big into fitness, what's the catch? All right, so you can call her cute again, and then I use other adjectives about her, whether she was like into fitness, she's Colombian, or whatever ethnicity is, whatever she likes to do for fun. I'm going to say it again. You need to inject a little bit more intent again. The other way you could do it is you just give her a genuine compliment. So if we're talking and the vibe's been going well, I look her straight up in the eyes and say, wow, you have really adorable eyes, by the way, I just noticed. And then you could keep the conversation going. But either way, you need to hit her on that emotional level. So the second layer of intent is crucial, guys. And then from there, we're going back into vibing. Okay, so back down here. And then from there, you could start talking about activities and places you like to go and what she likes to do. And then from there, it actually makes sense to ask her out. And now you'll actually get a solid number that converts because the girl sees you as a potential mate. She doesn't see you as a friend. She's not giving you the number because it was a friendly vibe and you were charismatic and you just kept conversation going. She's with you because she understands this dude's attracted to me, this dude actually wants to go on a date, and I feel that emotion, and as a result, I'll text him back when I give him my phone number, okay? So this is a big mistake I see a lot of guys doing. The reality is that just because you've displayed intent one time, or you opened with intent, does not mean that you're locked into a man-to-woman conversation. The longer you go throughout an interaction without constantly spiking the emotion, making it man to woman, or displaying some kind of intent, or even playfully disqualifying her is another way. So you could even tell her why we're not gonna get along, right? So that's another one you could do as well. Keep that in mind the next time you're in an interaction with a girl. You need to continuously spike the emotion and sprinkle in different layers of intent, of teasing, of playfulness, of pushing away and challenging, playfully disagreeing, all of this stuff. All of that is like seasoning to the dish. You do too much of that, it's gonna ruin the dish. You don't do enough of that, and that's when you get into this boring, bland, flavorless conversation that leads to a flatline. Just because you put a pinch of salt in the beginning is not enough to flavor to last throughout the whole interaction, all right? So that intent, that playfulness, that banter is seasoning to the dish. You need to consistently sprinkle it in throughout to add that flavor in. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're looking for more content on this, if you want to truly develop a magnetic vibe to become that guy that attracts women into his life, has more friends, more women, more dates, I can help you with that. I've put together a free training explaining the 3 keys to a magnetic vibe, as well as everything you need to know about my brand new MVB product. The link is in the description. Click that link to watch the free training. And for anybody that's interested in working with me one-on-one, there's also a link to an application in the description. Check those links out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, Kyle Frungen signing out. Peace out.